All right, give us just a couple seconds. We'll wait for our panel to get on. Got a great meeting packed full with some great information today. Got a fabulous new core of agents that we get to hear from. And that's the beauty of doing Zoom via team meetings, right? We can really jump into some stuff and give you guys some great value today and get another perspective as well. Carla and Linda, thank you so much. You guys can take yourself off mute. Keith and I are going to mess with you guys today and have some fun. So for agents in our office that don't know you, give them a quick glimpse about you and your business. Who wants to start?
Linda, you want to go first?
Yeah, okay, I'll go first. So I've been in the business almost 10 years. My husband joined me after 8. I was Rookie of the Year my first year, and then we've been top producers ever since.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, I've been in the business coming up 4 years now. I started at KW Premier out in Katy and joined Southwest probably a year after that. Love KW and everything KW has to offer. And I have a lot going on at home. I've got 5 kids, big family, school and things going on, but my business has been really growing and I'm really excited about it.
Okay, awesome. Give us a little glimpse of what your business looks like today.
Well, let's see, I've got a new listing that went out today and I'm working with a buyer, but I've noticed, I guess, things have really slowed down, I guess, since school started, which is pretty typical for this time of year. It'll tick back up in September, but.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm working with 4 buyers right now, and I'm working on a listing as well that should be coming on soon. I'm doing a few commercial things right now. I've got a commercial listing as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Awesome. All right. Talk to us about, let's go back to January, right? And we thought there was going to be a pandemic. We were just hearing rufflings, right? And tell us something that you did really, 2 things. This is twofold. Tell us something that you did really well through this pandemic and things that we did. And then go back and tell us if there's one thing that you wish you would have done that you could go talk to your younger self, right? Because I guess we all age through this. What would you tell yourself? Linda, what would you say?
Oh gosh, I think one of my goals this year was to do more videos. And I wish I had done that before the pandemic started, because my goal was to go around to different model homes and do them, and I start and then I don't publish them, or I wish I could go back and say, get off your butt and go do that.
Okay. What's something that you did well though?
Reaching out to all my past clients.
Okay. Just touching base with them. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Carla, how would you answer that?
I also feel like I would have a lot of space to grow in terms of video and doing some of that marketing. Also, I wish I was a little quicker on my feet. I feel like chaos is also opportunity. I wish I would have started a little earlier in doing things like pop buys and, showing people that I care, with small gifts or small little things to drop off, even though we can't really, it was hard because you didn't want to be face to face in the beginning with people. But the care calls really, it was huge. The results are exponential, but yes, the care calls were important because I care, but those touches were my database, and it gave me a good reason to reach out. So I'd say that was one thing that really helped, just getting in touch with people and talking to people and knowing what's going on with them was huge.
Okay, so that's so fundamental, right? You said, reach out to my database, call my sphere, make care calls, check in with people. Why is that so difficult for us to understand the importance of it and to take massive action on it?
I think my first thing, I always feel like I'm interrupting people. I always struggled with thinking, well, I'm going to call them during the day and they're going to be at work, and this pandemic, COVID really took that element out of it. You know, people are available. People want to talk. They they're been cooped up in their house, and they're they love their family, but they're ready to talk to somebody else. And so that really helped.
Yeah.
My
Great that.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Well, I think too that you need to just not let that drunk monkey stop you. I mean, I actually got a lease listing, which I don't do many leases, but it was a referral from someone I had put in a home a couple of years ago, and they didn't respond to my phone calls, they didn't respond to my text messages, and yet they referred someone to me. So you got to keep telling yourself it doesn't matter if they pick up or not. The fact that you actually called or texted, just to let them know that you're still out there is important.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the story that we tell. Remember in the MREA book with your database, you have one goal, and the one goal is to be top of mind. And you think that you're not being effective, but your goal is just when they think real estate, they think you. And what Linda just described in that moment was she was still becoming top of mind. She didn't think she was effective. She told a story around it that probably wasn't true. And then she was listening to voices in her head.
Only in my head.
I know, we all have them, right? That's why they're affected a little bit. All right, let's take this a little bit further. Tell us about education. Tell us, you guys have done a lot of things in Keller Williams on education and training and different programs. Tell us the importance of that to you, and maybe even a little history of what you've been involved in. Carla, we'll start with you.
Yes. So I definitely, that's one of the things I love about KW is there's just so many training opportunities, so many classes, and it's just so important. You can't stop learning in this business. I don't think, even with years of experience, there's always something new that you can learn or have in your back pocket for when the situation arises. I'm super excited about Mega Camp coming up. I haven't been able to attend in the past just because of the timing. Yeah. And so super excited to finally be able to attend and really just immerse, take some time to really immerse myself into what top agents are doing, and I think, success leaves clues. We've heard that before, but it's so important. Don't try and recreate the wheel. Just figure out how it's been done before. Go out and do it.
So, what's your favorite class of all time that made the biggest impact on you?
Favorite? I'd say I've taken Bold several times, and each time, it wasn't just one Bold. I think the accumulation of a few Bolds have every single time, it's just something huge that I take away from it. And it's, personal growth. Bold is definitely the most impactful course I've ever taken.
Very good. Linda, how would you answer that?
The first one or the second one?
Yeah, just tell me about just your education and training, things you participated in, and the impact that they've had on you.
I kind of agree with Carla. I love going to Mega Camp and Family Reunion. I'm really excited for it this year just because it's online. They both are incredibly exhausting to go to. There's so much to listen and learn, and I just love listening to the top producers around the country. I mean, even if you get one nugget that you take away and bring home and implement, it's huge. I think I went to a family reunion years ago when Mike started in the business, and we had been door knocking a certain neighborhood because we had clients who wanted to live in that neighborhood. And while I was at family reunion, we got a call to go do a listing presentation. And one of the things I learned at that, in one of the classes at family reunion, was to walk around with a sold sign. Keep it in your car, take it everywhere, whatever. So anyway, we showed up at that listing presentation with the sold sign in our hand. And we didn't say a word about it. We just put it on the table. And Mike ended up getting that listing, or we ended up getting that listing for $1.3 million. And that was from knocking on the door and handing his business card to the teenage son. So, but I remember, I guess that kind of comes back to, even if you get one nugget from these classes or from these top producers and implement it, it's huge. And like Carla said, I mean, you've got to constantly be learning. If you decide to stay with what you know and just do what you do, then you're just going to stop growing. You'll never get any better.
Yeah. All right.
Can I
Very
say
good.
something, Chad?
Yeah.
Just like Linda said, you got to keep learning. Even if you read something once, read something twice, you know, I used to always be like, you know, I already read that. I don't need to read it again. But there's something else to be picked up. There might be a paragraph you missed or you skimmed through, and there's a nugget laying there. So humble yourself, go back at it with a fresh mind, because there's something more to be gained. So that was what I'd like to contribute. Humble yourself and read it again, check it out again. There's something else to be gained.
All right, so you're both committed to Mega Agent Camp, right? It's online. We hear all sorts of voices of why, but and you hear it from leadership. I could sit here and sell it all day long, and people are like, yeah, that's just a job. I think agents think I make money from it. Yet, tell us from your perspective, why Mega Agent Camp? Why are you doing it? It's online, and what are you looking forward to? Carla, we'll go to you.
These agents are producing agents. They have the results. I want to know how they do it. I want to know, what is it, you know, what's the one little thing that I'm going to pick up that's going to make that impactful difference in my business. And that's what I'm going to be there. And I want to hear all of it. I want to absorb all of it, because you can hear something, just like Keith said, once or twice. It takes so much. We're bombarded with so much information day to day. It takes, you know, really immersing yourself, hearing it again, hearing the story that goes with it, just to really, you know, have it stick in your head, so that when you come across a situation or when you're making changes in your business, you know what to do. And that's my goal. That's what I want to get out of Mega Camp.
Okay, good. Linda?
Yeah, you know, I think obviously it's the same thing. I want to learn from the top producers around the country. I want to see what's working in other parts of the country that maybe we could implement here. I also think that it just was kind of a no-brainer to sign up. It's a lot less expensive than having to, you know, go to Austin. And Mega Camp, they've kind of changed it a bit. So it's almost like a mini family reunion. They've changed the way that it's structured. So you've got, you know, different classes you can go to, and you can pick and choose. You know, to me, it's just a no-brainer to do it.
Yeah.
All right, very good. All right, Lord, thanks for jumping on. You got there.
Difficulty.
No worries, no worries. All right, so we're just putting you on the spot. Tell us who you are and give us a little glimpse of you and your business.
I've been in real estate for 5 years now. Last year was my best year ever. Before that, I was in corporate America for about 25 years in IT. And the Mega Camp, like you guys were talking about, I just want to keep learning. There's so many more things that you can learn from like the top producers. And that's what I hope to get out of it, a better way to run my business.
Yeah. Now, you were with another company before Keller Williams. And just tell us, what are the fundamental differences that you see with Keller Williams?
I was with 3 other companies before Keller Williams.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you that I'm the happiest at Keller Williams. What I found with a lot of other brokers is they promise you stuff, they do not deliver on it. And going back to Mega Camp and the training, it is crucial that you have good training, especially in this business. I mean, you're dealing with people, the biggest purchase they're going to make, and it's very important you know what you're doing.
Yeah, very good. All right, what's been your favorite class at Keller Williams that had the biggest impact on you?
I feel like the command classes.
Okay.
The technology that Gary's implementing, I think it's really going to make a big difference in the way that we can do business. I think it's going to streamline things and hopefully make it easier.
Mm-hmm. All right, very good. All right, let me put you on the spot here. We hear all sorts of things about the market. You can give us a perspective. I'm a client of yours, and I'll say, what does the market look like 6, 9, 12 months from now? And how do you respond to that?
Well, I think next spring, I think things will pretty much go back to normal. Right now, like anytime if you have a good house that's been updated, it's probably going to sell really quick, like they do. So the market is still strong, but you have to be realistic also. The school, I don't think makes as much difference this year because so many people are flying. They used to have that hard cutoff where people wanted to move before school. I think that's blending a little bit. It still is there, but that's my prediction.
Okay, Linda, how would you answer that?
Well, I would say, I don't have a crystal ball. I wish I knew what was going to happen 6-9 months from now. They're telling us right now that the interest rates are going to stay low, which means that the market's going to stay strong. But we just don't know. So now's the time to buy because the interest rates are just at a historic low. We've never seen them this low. It's like borrowing free money.
Okay, very good. Carla, what would you say?
Pretty similar. I'd say we don't know what's going to happen. I can't see the future. So let's sell it now. We know if it's reasonably priced today, it's going to move. I'm seeing everybody I talk to, everything I see says it's going to stay strong through the fall. After that, it's anybody's guess. We don't know. We expect the best. We hope for the best. But if you've got a need, let's move it today.
Okay. All right.
And
yeah, go ahead.
I've got to disagree a little bit with Laura. I still think the schools are important. People are still checking out schools and what levels, even though it's all, I guess, online right now, but there's, to me, that's still important for resale value.
Well, I don't know if the school impacted the start of the ending and the start of it impacted this year as much, which obviously our selling season got pushed into it. And I still think people are moving right now and not worried about the implications of schooling. Oh, I got to pull my kid out of school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which in the years past, it was an impact. Keith, how would you answer it?
I'm going to sound a lot like Carla. The market, there's no way we can predict what's going to happen. I say we'd be reaching even saying 3 months from now. All we know is right now the market's strong, the rates are extremely favorable, buy or sell. Let's make it happen right now. There's so much unpredictability in the future. All we can do is address right now. And so let's look at whatever your need is. Let's discuss it. And if we can pull the trigger now, let's not wait. Let's not make any excuses. Let's go.
Yeah.
Band-Aid off.
I think there's a sense of urgency that we always want to create with people. And the sense of urgency for me comes in a couple of different ways. One is interest rates, right? They're historical low, to take advantage of it. And that could be a refinancing, that can be a purchase, right? And I know we've heard Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are looking to make changes, and that got pushed to December to pass another fee along. We'll hear from more of that a little bit with AMCAP that jumps on. So there's a sense of, hey, let's take advantage of the opportunity. I mean, 2.5 for refinance for Andy and I, we look at that as free money in our world. That's not exactly, but boy, that in the course of a loan and you study it, man, that's a big difference. And so getting people to really understand it. I do know people, I was walking around my neighborhood, this is probably about a month ago, and he was just asking me questions about real estate. His wife is an appraisal, so she's in it. And I said, you guys refinance, right? Nah, I'm really not gonna look at it. Long story short, I said, no, go look at it. I got a contact for you. They'll walk you through it. And yeah, 30 days later, he refinanced, but it didn't even come across his radar. I just don't think we're sharing that message enough. And it could be just a refinance. I didn't win from that, but I provided a value from somebody as well. And then just, moving forward, yeah, we don't have a crystal ball, but we do know things do move, right? We're not going to stay in this seller's market forever. And so getting a sense of urgency, we know that if we get your house on the market today, price it right, get it in the best condition that we can sell. Why wait 6 months if we can do something today?
That's right.
And so, and it's providing them a need. And I don't think it's a fast sale by any means. We can show them the data. And yet if I was to pull up the HAR and our office, we still have a number of properties. As much as we're going, the market's hot and the inventory is there, we still have a number of properties that are 100 days or more on the market that are not moving.
I would like to, Linda kind of touched on it when she said she's seeing things slow down.
Yeah.
And I agree with her. I want her to kind of elaborate on that if you would share some, Linda. You made that statement, but you didn't give kind of any basis. I agree with you, but kind of share what you're seeing.
Yeah, I've got a couple people, you talk about how you have your A, B, and C buyers. And I've got people who are like, I'm going to wait. I'm just going to sit back and wait, see what happens. They think the market's just going to fall out. So they want to wait and see if they can get a good deal. But on my listings, I'm just starting to see the showing slowing down.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't see people clamoring to do something. I've got a buyer right now who I know she needs to buy. She needs to buy now, but she keeps finding excuses to not go out and look, or saying, well, we'll do it next week.
Do you think it's the normal after school start slow down, or?
I think so. I think that especially people that have kids, they've got a lot on their plate right now, and maybe buying a home is important to them, but not 100% because they've got to deal with all the other issues of online learning.
Okay.
Carla can probably answer that better.
I mean, it's kind of weird, right? You want to tell people it's a hot market, if you list your property, it'll move fast, but really that's not the whole picture. If you list your property and price it correctly, it'll move fast. You have properties that are sitting on the market. We're seeing problems with appraisals. The banks aren't going to take a risk on things right now. They're looking at things more closely. So it's not that like you can go list and get 20% more for your house. That's not the case. It's just if you have a need, you want to price it correctly, then it'll most likely move unless there's something really wrong with it and the buyers don't like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then it
All
can
right.
be priced.
Here, let's do a little transparency. What is your greatest challenge right now in your business with your habits that you're really working on? And if you knew if you could address this, you would be able to hit your goal and beyond. Linda, we'll start with you. And it can't be Mike. Your spouse can't be your greatest challenge.
Well, that goes without saying, but I've got an adult son who just moved home, and my greatest challenge is making myself work because I hadn't seen him since last Christmas. So when he's up and around and doing stuff, I want to spend time with him.
Yeah.
As much as he'll let me.
Right. Okay. So just the distractions that come at home.
Yeah. And really, I should make myself go find a place to go make my calls every day.
You didn't sound very convincing like you're going to do that.
Well, I don't know. I just need to get back into it because once I start doing it, I don't mind it, but it's just setting aside the time to do it.
So it's setting a schedule, it's time blocking, and then following the schedule while you can do it. So fundamental, right? And you've been harping on it. What? Yeah,
and I was going to say, and one of the things I didn't mention earlier is, one of the things that Mega Camp and Family Reunion always does for me is just kind of re-energizes me.
Yeah.
And I need that. You need to get pumped back up because especially when you're tired after working really hard for 5 or 6 months, you're just like, I'm gonna take it easy. And I think going to those classes and listening to other people, it pumps me up.
Okay. Yeah, very good. All right, Carla, how would you handle that? What's your greatest challenge?
Yeah, that's funny. I think I also am feeling a little low energy lately, just a little burnt out, got a lot of things going on, especially, my challenge is homeschooling. I'm homeschooling 4. And my youngest is in pre-K. She's not in homeschool, but she's still around. And so just adjusting my schedule, leverage is key for me. I'm, fortunate enough that I was able to bring in some leverage, a few days a week to help me because every hour, every day, I'm not making calls. I'm not growing my business, and that's essential for me. So leverage is, going to be a key factor for me, and managing my schedule. And
I think that's very helpful for people, especially if they have kids at home and managing. So specifically, what type of leverage are you using?
Well, specifically for me, through an acquaintance, I found this wonderful person to come help me. She's a U of H student, and she's doing online classes as well. And so, she's got her schedule. We were able to balance. And so she helps me a couple of days a week, and she does her classes the other days a week. And
Yeah.
it works because
Yeah.
at first the fear was the financial burden of it. But once you put it in perspective, what is your hour worth? What is your hour of work time worth? And then it also puts the pressure on, okay, I'm paying for leverage and she's awesome and totally worth it. But now I've got that time back and I do not have time to play around. I don't have the freedom or the luxury of misusing the time that I just bought myself. So there's a little bit of that factor as well.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff. All right, Laura, what's your greatest challenge?
The same thing you were talking about, it's time block. I'm really bad about getting distracted and getting off focus and doing non-productive things. They need to be done, but they're not productive. And what they had talked about earlier, doing videos. I think I really need to start doing videos more and just embracing what other technologies can do, find a different marketing than what I've been doing. That way I can have 2 marketing platforms. Move on like that.
Oh, I think we're going to turn this into a coaching call. We got about 70 people listening. I've heard all of you committed to video, but not doing it. So it sounds like we're going to articulate out loud what you're committed to doing this week on a video. So who wants to say it out loud in front of others? You can't see them, but they're listening to it. What are you talked about, Nan, if I could go back and redo something again, it would be my presence online on a platform and doing videos. So take a step. What action you're going to take this week?
Okay, I'll commit to doing a video on my new listing.
Okay. And when are we going to see it?
Okay, so today's Wednesday. We'll probably see it by Saturday.
Okay. On what platform?
Facebook.
Okay. All right, cool. Can't wait to see it. If you see it out there, make sure you comment on it with Linda. Give her some action, support her on it. All right, Carla, what are you committed to?
Okay, well, I said pop buys and video too.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to do the video as well. I'll do a builder home video here in Siena, and I'll post it within the next 7 days.
Next 7 days. Okay, by next
on Facebook.
On
Facebook
Facebook
and Instagram. Yes.
Okay, and on all right, good job. Okay, Laura, what are you committing to?
I'm going to redo my horror video. I don't particularly like it.
Okay.
On horror, and I'll put it on my Facebook page and Google or YouTube. And I was doing service providers every month, and I think I can get some of them back here, and I can just do one in my backyard or on the street or something, and start doing service provider videos again. With Mosquito Joe's and Factor Joe's.
Yeah. By when?
I'll have the horror one done by this week. The other one I'll schedule with somebody, so I'll have that one done by next week.
By next week. Okay. All right. Very specific, right? That's accountability. You set the action, you make it very measurable when it's going to be done, and you set a time frame and get it. So thanks for committing. And it doesn't really a commitment until you say it out loud. And it's even better when you have a bunch of people listening to you. Okay, Keith, what other question you have for these ladies?
Oh man, I mean, we hit a lot of heavy duty stuff. I think they were very transparent and where they're coming from and how they're approaching their business. I got one. What are you ladies doing to grow your profit share? And how can we as a leadership team help you? That's my question. How can we help you?
I've already started. Keith and I have talked a few times, and I've reached out to the few people we've talked to. And I've reached out to some others, kind of like the care calls. Who are my friends from different brokers. So it works out pretty good. When I call them, we talk for 30 minutes.
Right.
And I'm just trying to get that going. And you always talk about what's going on at your broker. And so that's how I'm kind of approaching it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Anyone
I think
else?
that's a good idea. Approaching it like a care call, calling, and fellow agents. I still keep up with agents that I met back in, when I was taking my classes at Champions. So I need to work on that, on growing my profit share. That would be excellent. Having
Can I throw a suggestion at you guys? Something I've been using MegaCamp. People that have previously told me no, I've gone back and just invited them to MegaCamp to say, hey, take a look behind the curtain. It'd be a great opportunity. Check it out. And just this morning, I spoke to this independent broker who shut me down last month, sent me a confirmation that she wants to go to MegaCamp. She wants to, and so it's just an opportunity for them to look behind the curtain. They're not making any commitments. It's no pressure, and just another way to keep the conversation going with somebody that you think would be a good fit, someone you want to be in business with, be it on your team or just associate with. Use MegaCamp or anything we have going as an invitation to just kind of see what the culture is. And
so sorry to interrupt. Are they able to register as a non-KW agent online, just like we are?
Is that Barb?
Well, let me do it. If they're a producing agent, right? We know they buy and sell and represent people. We will cover the cost, right? As a market center. We put that in our recruiting package. People look at that, oh, you're paying for them and not mine. No, we're looking at growing your profit share. So you just act like it's your own. Say, hey, look, would you like to take, I'm going, I'm inviting you. So if it's good enough for you, it's good enough for somebody else. Tell them about it and why you're taking it. And then go, here's what I'd ask you to do. I would like you to connect with somebody on my leadership team, right? And they want to visit with you real fast to tell you all the details about it and make sure you're committed. Because we want to make sure they're committed, because it's kind of hard in this arena to go, oh, we go pay for it, and then they don't show up. So we asked them for a little bit of commitment, but you can say, and I will be the one, we will cover the costs, because collectively we are. So that's a great tool, connecting them to events. I can promise you, when you go to Mega Agent Camp, the platform that they're using, the tools and resources, Gary is all in this, right? Yes, I'd love to drive to Austin and be hanging out with everybody and go to class and go get something to eat and have a beverage or two, but that's just not the environment that we're in. People go, oh, we're zoomed out. Well, so are your kids, but yet guess what? They're all in and learning online too. So get over it. This is the platform, and I promise you, you're going to get some great information. Gary Keller said this. He goes, I'm looking to only present people that they said something I haven't heard before. I'm like, okay, so he's really pushing these top people to share something really insightful. Now, we do know fundamentals are going to come out in all these conversations. That's where great success is, but we're going to really hear some great things. Okay. And it's easier for you guys to do it. When we call them, they look at us as recruiters, and all we're doing is recruiting. If you tell them is, no, we're just looking at something of value to take. You don't need to sell them Keller Williams. You just tell them it's a great learning opportunity. Take advantage. And I promise you, nobody in the industry is touching what we're doing right now when it comes to education and training and the platform. Okay. One last thing, give us your final thought, either advice or one thing that you would want everyone to hear on this call. We'll start with you, Carla, and we'll go to Linda and then Laura last. Give us one last thing you would want us to hear.
Your business is your database. Don't forget it. It is so true. Just keep reaching out to your database, even if you don't feel like it. Don't make assumptions. Never assume. Just, Linda made a great point earlier, I think. She felt like they weren't responding to her reaching out. Definitely just keep reaching out. Think of all the text messages you get from vendors. I get text messages all day long, car salesmen, whatever it is, people trying to sell leads, whatever it is, they try again. And I look at that and I think, well, I'm ignoring them, but I'm seeing them. And if I ever need that service, I'm going to go back to that text message, or I'm going to go, they're in my head already. So even if people aren't responding, just keep reaching out. Don't make assumptions. I am guilty of that, but don't do it.
It's why we do that call bias list, right? To eliminate the call bias, because we tell ourselves all sorts of stories.
That's
yeah,
right.
Very good. Linda?
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback off of Carla. I mean, make your calls. I know when I'm in bold, I always tell people, I said, I make my calls and I think I'm not getting anything out of them. And I said, it's like magic. Stuff just appears. Stuff just comes out of the woodwork. You just don't know where it's coming from. You just got to get out there and talk. I mean, I talked to a friend once and I was telling her about how I could find her an agent for us. They were going to buy a property in California. And I ended up with a great referral fee from that. And in fact, I'm the agent who sold her a property in California is now selling a house here in Houston that I'm selling. And she referred me to someone else as well. So, you know, you just never know. You just always got to be out there talking because you just don't know where it's going to come from.
It seems like the universe knows if you're doing the right activities. When people go, oh, that was lucky. And you go, I don't know if it was luck. I was doing the right thing. And then something came out of left field that you never expected. So, yeah. Okay, Laura.
I say the same thing, but on top of that, time block to make sure that you actually get it done. That you make those phone calls and make those touches.
Yeah. And we usually let the distractions come in ourselves, right? We could say it's, oh, my kids or something happened or whatever. We're usually allowing that distraction to come in. So block it, important, and just win the day for an hour or two. That really is what sets us apart. All right, awesome. Keith, anything I missed asking this group?
I don't think so. And I just suggest they all gave great tips, and I'm gonna say give go more macro. I have to look at the calendar for the month and then drill down. You know, we'll look at a day, we might look at a week, but sometimes, like I just looked at September. For me, I have 20 working days. How am I gonna balance those 20 working days to hit my numbers for that month? And so just taking a more strategic macro look and then drill down into the weeks, the days. And I think it all tie together and make it just leapfrog your efficiency in your workflow.
Okay. All right, awesome. I appreciate you guys joining. You're more than welcome to stay right here, or you can jump on and go in the back way, or you can just hang out a little bit. But I'm going to give a few announcements before our vendors. Don't go away just because we're done with our panel. But I wanted to talk to you about, first thing is, obviously we know about the impact of Hurricane Laura on Louisiana. Devastation would be an easy way to put it if you've seen, especially that Lake Charles area as well. So Andy has put together an email that was sent out on a Facebook post. She is working on taking a trip herself Friday. And so she's looking for, obviously the best thing that can come in handy is gift cards, right? And the bigger the players, the gift card meaning to your big stores like Walmart, but from brooms, dustpans, bleach, paper towels, laundry detergent, garbage cans, shovels, buckets. Those things are really important for us to get. So go back. I'd encourage you to do that. And here's why, right? When Harvey showed up, I can tell you, Keller Williams across the country, including Louisiana, showed up to support us. And that's just giving back, right? And just helping people. And I don't know how much you paid attention, but that storm was, it was different than Harvey, right? It didn't have the rain, but it had the power. And just some of those neighborhoods with the tree and destructions and those big trees that have been there forever got blown down on top of houses. So take that under consideration as well. Don't forget about Mega Agent Camp. Yes, it's coming up. It is 15th, 16th, and 17th. So that week of Mega Agent Camp starts on a Tuesday. Yes, it's 3 days. Yes, the platform's going to be really cool. You're going to be an opportunity to network with others. You're going to be able to happen to catch in with groups. So it's not a Zoom call. So if you think it's going to be like this, I think you're missing out on the platform and what it looks like. You're going to have choices. You're going to be able to customize things to yourself. It's going to be fantastic. If you go, oh, I don't know if I can do 3 days, never what you miss, it's what you get. And it stays live for 60 days. So if you miss something, you can go back to that within 60 days. I think for the price and the return to it is fantastic. I think is a great opportunity for you to get guests there as well. Obviously, we're in here to partner with you on your profit share. If you want some more information, we're going to keep sending things out and hitting some people up, but there's no reason in our market center we should have over 100 people that are taking advantage of that. On that Monday before Mega Agent Camp, which is the 14th, we're going to do a chicken biscuit and coffee in the parking lot, kind of to kick it off. yes, I would, you know, the thing as a team leader, I come in the parking lot and I see that it's empty, man, it just kills me, right? I love to do team meetings. I love to hang out. I love the physical element. You know, we're just not going to open up the team meeting to 60 or 70 people, 100 people in that training room right now. Just not the present. But yet, we want to do a time where we get together. So from on that Monday before Mega Agent Camp to kick it in, we're going to do it in the parking lot. Come in, we'll throw you a biscuit, chicken and a biscuit, right? And get you some coffee and you can drive off. You can hang around a little bit as well. But we're just wanting to just come back as a community as much as we can. So that's exciting too. So be looking for that week. That's a big week for us. Kids are back at school, whatever that means, right? In your world, some go in, right? Some have a choice. Some of it's a hybrid. But I think there's a way for us to connect as human beings is important. So that Monday before Mega Agent Camp will give us that opportunity. Then another thing is we have this thing called compliance, right? And we have this move that we've made going into command. And so here's your opportunity. Norman has thrown out more classes. Namesh is helping with videos. We have just provided every resource. And yet as a team, as leadership, we're afraid only half the market centers even paying attention to us and tell us their time to do it. You have 3 options when it comes to doing a transactions. When we say transaction, mean the e-signature part of it, right? Inside of it, you could use DocuSign in Command. You can still use dotloop inside of Command, and you can use zip forms inside of Command. That's just peeking the vehicle. Now, if you go, Chad, I love DocuSign, I'm going to use it outside of Command. You can continue to do that. I'm going to use dotloop outside of Command. You can. That doesn't make sense to us. I'd come back in, but you have a choice of where you need to do. And then when we get to the compliance piece, that's what has to be done now through Command. And that's a big feature moving forward. And we're switching it all over. And Marilyn can't, and her team can't play in 2 different systems. So if there's anything that you need help with or moving to it, it's going to be a new habit. We got to form it a little bit. It's going to be a little bit, but we're here to help you and support you. But in long run, that's going to really pay off. It's going to make the MCA department, when it comes to commissions and compliance, we just think it's going to make us a lot more efficient. So, okay, that's all the announcement. Keith, you got any other announcements?
No, I think you hit them all, Chad. I think we're good.
Okay. Any questions from you, the agents? You guys have on any of that I just said? Okay, great. You're looking at me like I'm weird. I know you always do that, but just to, okay, great. We'll switch ahead to Letitia on Celebrity Title and tell us what's going on in the title world.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. I wanted to talk to you guys today about wire fraud.
Yeah, this is a big deal. So
Big deal.
We got to pay attention to this.
So we had a Redfin, I want to clarify because Chad and I had spoke earlier, it was Redfin realtor who had a foreign national who was coming in to buy a huge down payment on a house, over $60,000. They were wiring. The realtors, this is what I think happened because of how it happened, the nature of it. The realtor's email was hacked and they received new wiring instructions. So what do you all think that new purchaser from a foreign country did? They wired all that beautiful money to their new wiring instructions. Now, luckily with this transaction, we were able to catch it. In the meantime, it didn't complete the transaction, so we were able to stop it. We were notified within about an hour of the transaction happening, so we were able to stop that. But that is not the real world, and that does not always happen. So I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. Title companies do not change wiring instructions. We do not send out emails last minute telling you a new bank has happened and we've decided to move to this bank or that bank. You all are you guys are the experts in this transaction. Your clients look at you as the expert. I know that you're not in mortgage, I know you're not in title, but they still look at you. So when they're looking at you to be the experts, you have to have that knowledge. And if you have foreign nationals, especially foreign nationals or persons from different states, you want to make sure you're very aware and you say the right words to them. Title companies do not change wiring instructions. We do not send out emails from some weird Gmail account that looks really professional, but it's not us. What has happened is correspondence back and forth between the title company was happening with that realtor. And what ended up happening is they copied the signature, they copied all of our logos. It looked really professional, but it wasn't from a @celebritytitle.com email. So that should have been a big flashing red light for that client, is that it didn't come from the right email address, but it wasn't. So once again, I just want to reiterate that you guys really need to have conversations with your clients. Wire fraud is real. It is definitely happening. People's email boxes are getting hacked all the time. And we just want to make sure we're letting our clients know this is something that could happen. So we want to be aware. Also, have conversations with your clients when they're wiring money over. You know, hey, how'd that wire go? Did the bank make sure that they get everything off okay? That would have sparked that conversation before it came to us, where we were like, we literally said, hey, we haven't gotten your funds. Where were your funds? You said that you're going to have your funds to us by 8 o'clock on Monday, and it's 9 o'clock on Monday, and we haven't received your $60,000+. So yeah, it's a hard conversation to have with clients, but it's better if you guys stay on top of it and stay on top of the transaction to the very end. So we'll do our very best to help you, but just be aware, title companies never change wiring instructions, never. So I know I've said this before, but this happened recently, and I think that it's real. So that's what I wanted to talk about.
I mean, I think somebody put that in our Facebook group of another one. They're getting really slick,
Yeah.
right? And I think of it personally, right? Before I wire any money, I'm gonna check 2-3 times and communicate and go, make sure that I'm going to the right spot.
Right.
Now, I know the rest of you could lose 60,000. It's not that big a deal to you, but to me, that would devastate my bank account.
Yeah.
So anyways, I think that's just in a listing, in a buyer consultation, or even in the listing, anytime we do it, I think it's just good to just talk about that and have that part of your instructions and know, look, people are really good at this. They have classes on it, right? I think the classes we have on real estate, they have on how to hack your money.
Probably.
No, they do. I mean, there's articles and things written about the training that they do. So be careful and advise your seller, and they're looking to us for the expertise. That would be devastating to a buyer to lose $60,000.
Right.
Okay.
We were lucky with this one and we were able to get it, but it doesn't always happen like that. It doesn't always happen.
Okay. Anything else from Celebrity, or is that it?
Well, we have classes going on, of course. We have
Okay.
tons of classes, and we're really excited about being able to participate in everything else. And the headshot event is getting rescheduled. So I'll get that information out to you as soon as I get that.
Okay. Awesome. All right, Reliant. Hold on, we got it. Here you go.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Last month, I closed 12 sales for our office agents, okay? 4 of them are new agents. Because for last month, we have the promotion for the new agent, they're getting $100 referral fee instead of the normal $75. So this month, I'm going to run the same contest to encourage the new people to using my service, okay? I mean, my closing rate is pretty high. I think I probably missed 1 or 2 last month, okay? So it's really easy. And then Candice from the Kimber team, she got 2. I mean, she only like put in her letter to customer, the closing letter, the utility letter, like just put down my name and title and phone number and email, and then send it to customer. Then her customer call me, I close 2 for her. So that's really easy. But if
all right. I see Laura's on the list. Good job, Laura.
Laura always send me referral.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. All right, take advantage of that program and the concierge service for your people. She'll get you a really competitive rate at the same time. And personally, if you haven't looked at your electricity, give it an opportunity to quote your own personal electricity as well. I think it's a highly competitive rate as well, because I don't think it's getting cooler anytime soon. I know it's September. That's living in Texas, where you're like, enough already, and you're like, yeah, maybe in 60 days it'll cool off.
Yeah, it will save you a lot of money.
Yeah.
Because we give you the lowest plan we offer.
Yeah. All right. Great. Fantastic. All right. That's all that I have today. Anything else that I missed, Keith?
No, I think we're all good. You hit the high points. Mega Camp, the chicken and biscuits on the, what is that, the 14th?
Yeah.
And so, use the leadership team. We're here to help you guys grow your profit share. If we can do anything for you, let us know. We're here to help.
Yeah, proud to be in business with you. Sign up for Mega Agent Camp. I think you're gonna be really surprised at the platform and the way that we're doing virtually. I don't want to hear anybody going, I'm zoomed out. Get used to it. So are your kids, and they're overcoming it and having to jump in as well. And so appreciate the panel. Appreciate you guys partnering with us and just your emphasis on learning and getting better every day.
And think about it. No more getting to a classroom and the fire marshal telling you you can't get in.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm pumped about. Whatever class I want to go to, I can walk in boldly and know I got a seat. So
Yeah.
go sign up for Mega Camp.
Awesome. All right.
Good
Thank
point.
you guys. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.